From the 18th hole at Pebble Beach at X Golf in Easton, CWTAP TV is back with the corner kick for Wednesday, August 27th, episode number 3. I'm Bobby Celentano, joined by Alex Fydryszewski, and today we're going to be talking about all things soccer in the world of football.
You know, Bobby, it's great to have you home. Bobby was our intern. Do you remember him, folks? He did quite a few commercials for the Barnyard Market and, College Hill Tavern and Antonio's. He was at Kutztown Folk Fest with us. This was almost 10 years ago that you were on the station for the first time, my man.
2016, and I still tell everyone I was Alex's first ever intern, and I'm so happy that he has the reins here at CWTAP and carrying on the legacy of Uncle Jeffrey and bringing CWTAP to a new era.
Yeah, really excited to be doing it. This weekend we were at Alberta's Park for their 100th anniversary. Great to be out there and meet so many of our viewers, many of them longtime viewers who came up and introduced themselves to me for the first time, and some of them not for the first time. I've known some of them for 10, 15, 20 years because they go back to the days of, Jolly Joe and Uncle Jeffrey. So we were all together for a long time, and it was a nice reunion to get back in the saddle out in Lehigh County with everybody. But the other thing that's interesting, Bobby, we now have both of Uncle Jeffrey's interns from my era back in the fold because LJ's back to do the football games and he's going to be doing basketball. We're excited to have him back. So we had you, then it was LJ. Now everybody's home together.
Absolutely. But I mean, my favorite thing about it is it's a local community, and you film in the Lehigh Valley, Eastern Pennsylvania, Western New Jersey. You're at all the events. People recognize you. In 2016, we used to go to viewers' houses. Shout out to Agnes.
We miss Agnes.
Yes, we do.
She was the best. Agnes, the Slovak lady, Agnes Stefan from Bethlehem. She lived on the south side, and I got to know her and her family very, very well. She used to call us at WGPA every single day. Every single day during the polka show. Yeah. Agnes, the Slovak lady, would give us a call. And she continued that with CWTAP. She loved watching Uncle Jeffrey and would always have him on. And her kids would call us up and be like, Mom won't leave the house until Jeffrey plays something by Del Sinchak for her. So she wouldn't even go to church until he played the Slovak Chardash medley. Oh. So he had to get it in before 5 o'clock on a Saturday night to make it happen. But, talk about like that viewer loyalty before we get into the show. Just the people that watch this channel have been so good, not just Uncle Jeffrey and his family, but all of us over the years that were a part of the station and are a part of the station. And I hope that you'll be as good to the folks that are new faces on the station as they've been to you, to me, and everybody else that's been a part, the Ritters, over the years. And we're excited to go to new levels and go into new places. We've got Pennsylvania football news with us now.
I saw the news article that came out.
And, State of PA football is airing every Wednesday from 6 until 8. There's just so many good things. We've got PFN Taps into the state on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock, the Whip Around show where they bring highlights from all the corners of high school football in Pennsylvania. So we keep you up to date here now in a way that no one's ever done in the state before. And now, with us here, it's great to bring the corner kick back. The next step, we got to get soccer games back on the channel. We'll have basketball. We'll have some wrestling. We got football. We really want to be a Main Street and back road station. We're here for everybody. That's the local community.
Yeah, and we dipped our toes into it in 2016 and some years back, where I know you have a very heavy background in color commentating and anchoring the show. I'm more of just a color commentator and just here to go on the side, but we were at the Bucksmont Torch games when they used to play NJ Copa and the MPSL, so a lot of local soccer. We'd love to have that back on the station. Yeah,
I think we'll find a way to make it happen for sure. Now, the rundown, it's on the screen. We'll go through all of our segments, and you know how it starts with me and JJ. It's always in the Premier League.
I have big shoes to fill today. In JJ's spot. The best thing, though,
they remember you at home. You were here. They know you already.
Well, and also the best part is I'm not an Aston Villa fan. So I have that on my
Oh,
side.
we don't have to hear about Aston Villa for the entirety of this program. This is
love you, JJ.
fantastic. JJ, please come back. He's not coming back now, is he?
Yeah, as we just...
I'd like to introduce you to the new co-host of the Corner Kick, Bobby Celentano. He'll be here every single week with us now because JJ's going to lampoon us on the show because we made fun of Aston Villa.
It's okay. He can make fun of... I'm an AC Milan fan, as he knows, and we're going to get very much into it.
They can't win the title.
I have no ground to stand on whatsoever, but I think you wanted to start the show with talking about what kit you're wearing today.
Yeah, so JJ and I, sometimes it's suits, sometimes it's kits. We've decided what we're going to do now when we do wear kits. It's not going to be every week, but we are going to introduce the team that we are wearing. So not everybody at home is going to recognize every kit. There are some iconic ones, the Liverpool red and Barcelona, Real Madrid. Folks will recognize those kits. Maybe your grandkids or nieces or nephews are walking around in Messi jerseys from his Barca days.
I thought about wearing a Miami jersey, but I did not want to upset you.
I would have fired you on the spot from a job that you're not getting paid to do because you're a fill-in commentator right now.
I thought I could wear like a super chalky jersey, like a Ronaldo or a Messi, and just something that everyone recognized. But I thought, what good is CWTAP Corner Kick if we can't get obscure with our teams?
That's the whole point of the kits. We want teams to send us their kits from all over the world. So if you are watching us at Barrow in England right now, and Barrow in Furness, we want kits from Barrow. We want press passes to come experience.
Some League 2 team.
It's going to be like away days from the English guys.
Yeah, we need some like National League team to send us a kit or something.
Do you think
like
we could get away days to come here?
I don't see why not.
I think we're going to have to reach out to them.
So who are you wearing today to kick off the show?
I will kick off the show. I am wearing Slovan Bratislava. They are the power club in Slovakia. They were in Champions League last year. Didn't go very well. They are still competing in Europe this year. And they've got some history behind them. Recently opened a brand new stadium. But yeah, this is the kit that we are sampling right now. Unfortunately, when I ordered this kit, I wasn't able to get from Slovakia a printed name on the kit. So I still need to do that.
That's okay. You can rock it anywhere. I don't have a name on the back of my kit either. And
then Robert Vitek retired, so I have no need for the kit. With the name. But yeah, Slovan Bratislava. What are you going with?
So from afar, someone might think I'm wearing a Newell's Old Boys jersey from Argentina, but no, I am wearing a jersey from a team in Arequipa, Peru called FBC Melgar. They are not the biggest city in Peru. They're not the most popular team in Peru, but that's who I am repping today. And they played yesterday. I believe they drew 1-1. So that's who I thought I would come today with a little bit of Latin flavor.
I love it. Like this is probably one of the most obscure kits that will ever feature on the show. This is probably the most obscure kit that I might have.
Yeah.
Is Slovan, because I was looking down the next few weeks. I'm like, it's Fiorentina, there's Juve, I have Olympiacos. I'm like, we'll get those through. But I'm like, this right here, FBC Melgar.
I have a lot of kits, and I was trying to think what one is probably the most creative to come on the show today. Add some, like I said, some Latin flavor, some South America, Peru. Let's get it into the fold, and let's make them a little bit more prominent, because we're going to talk about the Premier League, we're going to talk about the Bundesliga, we're going to talk about Serie A, the most popular leagues in the world. But sometimes the Slovaks and the Perus of the world don't get the attention they deserve, or they have great football.
I think that's also the point of what JJ and I started last week, the Club of the Week.
I'm looking forward to that, and to end our show today.
We were biased last week. I went with Wisła Kraków. He went with Aston Villa. Yeah. And it was fitting. We needed to introduce our teams first.
Of course.
But now the fun really begins.
And Wisła Kraków had an incredible win.
Huge
your team of the
huge win against Śląsk Wrocław at the weekend. 5 goals to the good. First place, running away with the second division. This is what we were hoping for, to come back up. But great result for them. 33,000 sold out standing room at the stadium in Kraków, which I've been to. Said that last week. I've been to games there.
Poland.
Wild time.
We'll have corner kicks.
Not just
Poland.
Not just the game. Great country.
Absolutely.
We'll do corner kick. Here's an idea. JJ will want to come on this trip, and so will my father. We'll do corner kick from the square in Kraków, right, with the big church behind us, from the cloth hall.
Maybe
It'll be beautiful.
Maybe from X-Golf over there.
We should ask Tom if we can open an X Golf over there. The British tourists will eat it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm also just amazed. I'm an Easton local, and I'm here at X Golf today. You made it super easy for me to say, hey, you want to be a co-host today, just like old times? And it's right down the road from me. And I got to practice my swing. And I will definitely be back.
What was it, about 5 minutes from your house?
Yeah, it's real close.
That was great. So, listen, it's very easy to get here to X Golf, 25th Street in Easton, right off the exit of Route 22. You can't miss the sign. It's right there off the highway. 80 Kunkel Drive, if you need to look it up. Give them a call. And, of course, support our fine sponsors here at CWTAP. Let's get into it, Bobby. We're going to start off, as we always do, with the Premier League. And there are a couple key points from the weekend. You want to start with Arsenal
that's
crushing Leeds, right? Yeah. Crushing Leeds, and there's a young man that I know you want to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Should we start with Max Dowman or end with it? Because he was absolutely phenomenal. For those who don't know, Arsenal has a 15-year-old wonder kid, the second youngest player to ever play in the Premier League, behind another Arsenal player, actually. And he impressed incredibly. I almost want to talk about the game first before I get into highlighting Max Dowman, but basically...
Max Dowman is the game.
He's the future. not to get too hyperbolic, but basically, Arsenal didn't have a super convincing win against Manchester United in the week previous. So they came here against Leeds United, who I personally have a soft spot for Leeds. American-owned. They have a lot of American players in their past history. They're one of those teams that used to be at the top of the EFL, and they always seem to now either atop the championship, bottom of the Prem. They keep bouncing back and forth. So they actually have a big upcoming game this weekend. But on Arsenal, Gyökeres looked absolutely great. His first goal was incredible. He ended the game with a brace. There was injuries to both Martin Odegaard, one of my favorites, the Norwegian, and Saka. I read today that it wasn't supposed to be too serious, though, for injury-wise.
There were some concerns at the weekend that Saka was looking at a long-term injury. So if this is a short-term thing, I think it's needed. And JJ and I have talked about this, and I want your 2 cents whenever you're on the program about this. The Premier League title race, which we're going to get into because Manchester City hath slipped on week 2.
Shout out to Tottenham.
Yes, big shout out to Spurs revitalizing after probably one of their worst seasons in recent memory. Arsenal was the 0.5, what we said, is it was a 2.5 team race. It was Liverpool and City, we knew. Then Arsenal was this 1 foot in, 1 foot out. What do you take on that? Is it 3 teams, or do you say Arsenal is still, do they have work to do? If is a long-term injury to a player like Odegaard or Saka, if that happens, does that break them?
I mean, back-to-back Premier League seasons in second place, if I recall correctly. I put them as one of those S-tier clubs right now. I think Arsenal in the past were an S-tier club, and for many years they kind of slipped down into being maybe an A-tier club. They just cannot seem to get over that final hump to win the big trophy in recent times.
They've gotten close.
Yeah.
But they looked the part.
Now, if Odegaard or Saka got hurt, I'd be very much concerned. I mean, I know we have Eze. He was in the crowd, super excited. They made some huge signings. They weren't sure if they were going to get Benjamin Sesko or Victor Gyökeres. They signed the guy that had 50-plus goals in 50 games from Sporting CP in Portugal. And a huge, super convincing win against Leeds. I think the real challenge is going to be this weekend, though, coming up against Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, this is the big one. This is a big swing early on in the season for both teams. Because, again, if we're saying it's a top 3 and City already blinked, we're going to now look at this Arsenal-Liverpool game as something that will have implications in May. As a match being played at the end of August.
Liverpool look real good, and I'm not super concerned with Man City as of this moment. I know we're only, 2 games into the season, so maybe I'll regret to say that later.
I think for me, it's not that we should be concerned yet. But in a league where one slip-up could determine the title at the end of this, you're not pressing the alarm bell, but we'll see where we're at in May. And now that's a long way from now. That's not to say that Liverpool won't lose to Brentford.
Yeah.
Or Arsenal draws 4 in a row at some point, and they tear off 12 points, and then everything changes.
And I do want to just comment on Leeds real quick. Brendan Aronson, the American, he should be a part of the World Cup 2026 squad. Anytime we're talking teams and there's an American,
got to bring him up.
Got to bring him up. Noah Okafor, I should say, from my club, AC Milan, made his debut off the bench. They hope to make a nice comeback. They play tomorrow against Sheffield Wednesday in the EFL Cup. I hope Leeds can pull it out from there, but it was just a poor performance against Arsenal.
Take a look now at Manchester United as we wrap up our Premier League segment to start this show. The struggles just keep mounting for them. We're 2 games in. Is the tank empty already?
I don't think it's a reason to panic, but they are off to not a great start. I actually thought they should have won the Arsenal game. I watched that one all the way through. I watched the Man U Fulham game. Man U looks like they have a great squad. Kuna's incredible. They just need to get Sesko up and running more. He's been coming off the bench. I think they got to get him starting again. I don't think there's reason to go into full panic mode. Man U had a huge transfer window, and they got one of the top strikers that has been talked about all of 2025, the 2024 from Red Bull Leipzig, Benjamin Sesko, but they're not doing anything to really calm us. Fulham, meanwhile, Anthony Robertson.
Got to talk about him. And is the British American.
He didn't start for them. It was his 190th game for Fulham. But, I mean, Fulham really put up a fight against Man U. And if I'm a Manchester United fan, that's where the worry sets in.
I think, yeah, right. If we're struggling with Fulham, where do you go when you're playing the top 5 or 6?
Yeah.
It can only... Theoretically, it can only go downhill from there. And last season was really bad.
Yeah.
For them and Spurs, if it was any worse, they're in the championship. It was that close.
Yeah.
Now, the drop was, that was a done deal way before they would have been in trouble because the 3 that went down were just so abysmal.
Yeah.
But bad seasons from them. Spurs seem to have figured it out.
Yeah.
But United still struggling. Now, I don't even know that they know who their starting goalkeeper is.
Yeah, Manchester United, I mean, it's easy to root against them right now. I'm hoping, I really like Sesko. I mean, you know me, I love my Red Bulls, and
yes, you do.
He's a former Red Bull Leipzig player.
Synergy, baby. You were a part of Synergy. We have to keep the synergy with Red Bull.
So I would love to see Man U back prominent club again. Right now, they're looking like a Europa League club, if they're lucky.
Yeah.
Should we maybe bounce down to the championship?
We're going to take a break. Then we're going to come back. The championship will probably take up an entire segment because we've got Yanks to talk about. We'll be back with more on the Corner Kick after these messages on CWTAP.
X-Golf, located just off the 25th Street exit of Route 22 in Easton, offers a premier golf simulation experience. With some of the most realistic indoor golf simulators you've ever seen, X-Golf is the premier place to work on your game before you hit the courses around the Lehigh Valley. If it's driving that needs work, putting that needs practice, or that pesky short game that haunts you, X-Golf is the perfect spot to perfect your swing. Bring your clubs, borrow one of our in-house sets, big up your friends, and come on down to X-Golf for a fun time. It's always 72 and sunny at X-Golf, and double bogeys are welcome, so you don't have to worry about a cart full of golfers behind you on hole 7. To schedule your tee time, call X-Golf at 484-250-0391. That's 484-250-0391. X-Golf. 80 Kunkel Drive in Easton, right off the 25th Street exit of Route 22. Superior Hardware, located at 400 South 1st Street in Bangor, is your go-to source for home improvement supplies in the Slate Belt. With a variety of tools, screws, nuts, bolts, and more, Superior Hardware is the place to shop for your hardware needs. Superior Hardware offers a full line of Milwaukee tools, the highest quality power tools available. In addition to their in-store offerings, Superior Hardware ships nationwide via their website, www.superiorhardwarebangor.com. So you don't even have to live in the Slate Belt or drive to Bangor to sample all that Superior Hardware has to offer. Superior Hardware is open Monday to Friday from 7 till 5, Saturday from 7:30 to 4, and Sunday from 9 to 2. Call them at 610-588-3205 or stop by their location at 400 South 1st Street in Bangor to jumpstart your home improvement projects today. That's Superior Hardware, 400 South 1st Street in Bangor. It's Queen's Nutritional Products, 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown. The Novak family, still the proprietors. For a wide variety of high-quality vitamins, supplements, and herbs, shop Queen's Nutritional Products. From vitamin A to zinc and everything in between, the Queen Bee and her busy bees on staff can assist you. Queen's Nutritional Products also has a full line of dry and roasted nuts, dried fruits, and more. That historic nut hut still producing the best nuts and dried fruits in the Lehigh Valley. Queen's Nutritional Products also offers a variety of natural soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, and more, because what you put on your body is as important as what you put in it. Queen's Nutritional Products is open Monday through Wednesday and Saturday from 9 until 6, Thursday and Friday from 9 till 7, as well as Sunday from 11 till 4. Seniors get 10% off every day on many items in the store. Visit them online at queensnutrition.shop, or better yet, stop by Queen's Nutritional Products at 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown. The Book and Puppet Company, located at 161 Northampton Street in downtown Easton, is a treasure trove of literature for kids and adults alike. With a large selection of children's and youth-geared content to New York Times best-selling authors across a variety of topics, the Book and Puppet Company has literary works for many ages and interests. The Book and Puppet Company is open at 11 a.m. Sunday through Friday and has its late night on Saturday, opening at 10 a.m. and closing at 9 p.m. For more information, you can visit their website at bookandpuppet.com. That's the Book and Puppet Company, 161 Northampton Street in Easton.
So now we're going to go from the Premier League to a league that a lot of Americans have been pretty red hot in, and that's the Championship. Did you watch any games this weekend?
I am a fan of the Championship, and I did watch some games this weekend in the Championship. I have kind of neglected the Premier League by and large this year, and there are two players specifically that are on my mind on the regular, and they both happen to be Americans.
Yep.
And they both happen to be attackers.
Mm-hmm.
JJ and I have talked about them both weeks, folks at home. Now we're going to get your take on this. Haji Wright and also Josh Sargent. Haji Wright finds the net again for Coventry, not once, but twice.
3 goals in his past 2 games. And Josh Sargent, 4 goals, 1 in each of his last 4 games. One of these guys has got to be, at this point where we're at with the U.S. men's national team, probably looking at the starter for World Cup 2026. You agree?
Yeah, I think we've got a long way to go, but right now, these are your top dogs.
Yeah.
For the World Cup.
It's not like a scoff out either.
No.
The Championship is a tough league.
We've talked about this last week, that it's the easiest league to fall into from the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's the easiest league to fall out of in the League One. And I know that the people who've watched us 10 years ago are like, oh, here he goes again, and this one's going to repeat it. And it's the toughest league to get back up from.
Yeah.
And
a lot of money in that league.
There's a lot of money. It's very physical, and the stakes are almost higher than most Premier League teams face, except maybe the relegation fodder 3 in the EPL, who are trying to hold on to the money.
Yeah.
In the Championship, you're playing for the money.
I mean, Coventry City, that Haji Wright plays for, former New York Cosmos, by the way, he won, and they won 7-1 against QPR. Norwich unfortunately lost against Middlesbrough. They both look incredible, though. Haji Wright really has just grown into a great striker, and I'm hoping he can replicate that for the national team. Right now, though, I mean, the spot's open. There's maybe Balogun from Monaco that might, but I can't think of anyone else.
Pepe can't get on the pitch regularly. When he does, he scores, but he can't get regular minutes.
So these are two guys that are starting, they're playing, and they're scoring. And, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves at this very, very early start of the season. Like I said, Josh Sargent, 4 goals, 1 in each of his last 4 games. Haji Wright, 3 goals in his past 2 games.
And I think what's interesting about Wright and Sargent, 2 different skill sets, 2 different body types, right? Haji Wright coming back from an injury, and I said it at the beginning, with JJ, this big physical guy who will mix it up in the box. And then you have Sargent, who's this faster, more skilled with the ball at his feet, technical kind of player. And I think there's a place for both in the national team. I think a lot of clubs and then national teams now have shied away from a 2-striker set, but there is an opportunity for them to both be on the field together, where you could have Wright as the 9, and you could even use him in the way they used to use Josie Altidore. He was this hold-up striker, this big-bodied, 220-pound, whatever Altidore was, physical guy who would body the center back and let guys make runs off of him. Wright, similar mold, and then Sargent could be one of those guys if they do this right at the World Cup. You could have Pulisic sending a ball forward, and then you've got McKennie and Weah and maybe Sargent all coming in at the defenders. For a lot of teams around the world, that's going to be a lot to handle. Maybe not for the top 10, 12 teams, national teams. But you get in the group stage and you're playing against a New Zealand or somebody like that, Panama, and we're at our best, that's dangerous.
Yeah, and the position's open right now. I don't think the U.S. men's national team has a solidified starting lineup. I don't think anyone could give you a solidified starting lineup right now. The spots are open.
I think there's probably 10 guys locked for the World Cup. JJ and I've kind of batted this around, and we're going to get into it during the friendly cycle that's coming up. Who's there? And then we're going to talk about later in the show the German, Thomas Muller, at the press conference for Vancouver this week, just spilling rumors left and right and going, yes, I know I spilled the rumor. Yeah, sorry. Oh, well, too bad. You're still going to pay me. That was it.
I saw that.
We'll talk about it. We'll get into that
in a bit.
But it's encouraging to see Americans performing at a high level.
Yeah. And I think some U.S. men's national team fans, they're going to overlook the championship because it's not La Liga, it's not the Premier League, it's not the Bundesliga, it's not Serie A. But hey, if you're starting for a championship club, you're getting minutes, you're scoring goals, they play 40-plus games a season. It is a grueling league to produce in.
With $300 million on the line, and if you bottom out, you're talking player salaries getting cut 60%, 50%. I mean, staff cuts if you go down to League One. There is tremendous pressure in the championship and in the whole pyramid, really, over in England. JJ talked about it. Aston Villa had to fire the tea lady, the lady that would go around the office with the tea cart. They had to get rid of her when they got relegated to the championship. They had to furlough the tea lady who had been there for like 50 years. They had to fire the tea lady. This is, and I think that's the point a lot of American fans miss, is that the pressure cooker that you're in to perform in the championship or in any of those leagues is so different than in the domestic game. And we'll get into that again as we get closer to the end of the show. We'll talk about some things in MLS and USL, get your take at where the state of the league is right now. Because I want to hear that, because we've been 10 years apart basically now, and I think everyone's opinions have shifted in a lot of different ways from where we were when JJ and I said this last week. When we used to do this, we're like, they are so close.
I know.
And are they still so close? I don't know, but we'll get into that later. in the show.
Yeah, just to wrap up with Norwich is going to. I'm looking forward to seeing how Southampton versus Norwich goes. Depending on when this airs, I think this is Wednesday.
This is Wednesday.
So I want to see.
We are taping early this week by our own admittance. Usually this is a Tuesday evening taping where we get a little of the Champions League results in. We are taping on Monday this week.
Yeah.
Schedules just had to do it where we had to do it. So you're getting some speculative stuff. You will have results by the time you watch this show on Wednesday that you could go get.
Yeah, so you'll know EFL Cup, who wins, Norwich or Southampton. And then there's one more club that I think in the championship everyone is always talking about. I think everyone knows who we're talking about. Wrexham.
I think that the turnaround that has been engineered by Rob McElhaney and Ryan Reynolds has been fantastic. I'm not a fan of like the hoopla and the documentary and all that around it, but their intentions are pure, and that became very apparent at the weekend. These guys came in and saved a community club down on its luck that was in the National League. They weren't in the pyramid. They were outside of the football league. They were in the 5th division where they were taking on teams that were JJ and I don't like the term semi-pro. You're either paid and you're professional or you don't get paid and you're amateur. So they were taking on part-time teams because they are professionals. They were getting paid to play, but the bottom end of the National League, a lot of these guys are working other jobs. Look at Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy was working in a warehouse, and now look where his career ended.
Yeah,
legend. But it never was more apparent than this weekend where Rob McElhaney has supported the club's decision. They were home against Sheffield Wednesday and said to the Wednesday fans, bring your banner on Saturday protesting your owner. Usually that is frowned upon in the football league.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that in...
Protect our own.
Yeah, they protect their own, and it's the type of thing that in Bulgaria... Yeah, they would have unfurled a banner with, some type of greedy-handed owner's face on a tifo, and there's a ball coming towards us. I've never seen it before. We're here at X Golf, 25th Street in Easton. England, they usually protect their own. And he did a 180 on the club decision and said no. The Supporters Trust said no, but McElhaney was like, no, we got to do this. Sheffield Wednesday are in a catastrophic financial situation right now. Their owner has essentially run the club into the ground. His name is Daphne Chansiri. He is from Thailand. He's a businessman. His family owns Thai Union Group. They are the world's largest producer of canned tuna and seafood.
Wow.
Though apparently he has no official role with the company. They started, when he took over about 10 years ago, a period of overspending early on. And now they have a transfer embargo. They have failed to pay players and staff, including staff in the ticket office, in the club office, March, May, June, and July of this year. He's clearly in a problem where they have an inability to operate.
Yeah.
And this club stands on going in administration and could cease to exist because of this situation. I think by drawing the attention to this, McElhaney will be able to hopefully rile up a little interest from an American investor, much like him and Reynolds did at Wrexham. Maybe this is a business person. Maybe this is one of their friends in Hollywood or a consortium.
Tom Brady's already got it.
Tom Brady's already in. It was a J.J. Watt's partner in Burnley now. Like, they all have their team.
Yeah.
Maybe this Rob Gronkowski's sitting on a pile of cash. Maybe he'd like to invest in them. But this is one of those things that this is ripe for the picking for an American investor looking to get into soccer that doesn't want to pay the $1 billion fee that Garber's going to want for the next one in MLS in a market that's going to be less than desirable for the league that they're looking
Second
for.
Division in England too. You don't have to go. You don't have to go a fifth division club like they do at Wrexham.
Right, those guys had to start from the real bottom end and build this back up. You're
one season away from the Premier League.
I mean, given you have to come in and clear the debt.
Oh yeah. Clear the debt, a lot of transfers.
There's a lot that's going to happen, but this is right for the picking for a business person to come in and prudently try to save the club. And even if it means they take a drop, right? Even if they get relegated, sometimes that's healthier for a club to get its books right, to get its roster straight, where, okay, now maybe we need to bring in some academy guys. They're not proven, but we'll sign some grizzled veterans in League One, and we'll scrap, and we'll get the books right. Then we can fix the on-field. I look at what's happening with my club right now, with Wisła Kraków. The relegation was probably the best thing that ever happened to them after the financial improprieties. And I mean, it was criminal activity what happened, but that's all. I mean, there were, like I said last week, there were arrests. Like, people did go to jail for what happened there. It was not pretty. Wednesday played no preseason matches, and I mean, there were senior coaching staff not reporting to training this summer. This is a problem. And I think, by letting this happen, hopefully it brings someone to the table that goes, you know what? I'm in. I want this club, and we're going to save it because, Bury went under, and now the supporters are rebuilding it as a Phoenix club and trying to essentially be able to claim the history and have the EFL recognize, no, these guys are the Phoenix club. They have the rights to to say that this is our history. We're not a new team. So, I mean, there's a lot going on in that situation that needs to get fixed.
And congrats to Wrexham getting their first ever point in the championship as well.
I think Wrexham is going to find that the next jump requires McElhaney and Reynolds to bring in some serious help.
Big investors.
This is now B-billion they need.
Yes.
These guys have money, and they have some partners, but now you need the guy who's worth 5, 10, whatever billion to get you to the next level, top half of the championship to the Premier League.
Absolutely.
League One, we talked about this last week. The U.S. has a goalkeeping problem.
Ethan Horvath
sits once again behind Nathan Trott. Cardiff stay atop the table. It is, I think, now safe to say Ethan Horvath has lost the starting job at Cardiff in League One to Trott. We said it last week. American goalkeepers abroad, we used to have so many. And now, so few.
I mean, Brad Friedel, right? American? England.
Casey Keller.
Tim Howard.
Marcus Hahnemann. These guys were all around the same time.
Brad
Guzan. They were all there together.
And now someone like a Matt Turner and Ethan Horvath are just struggling to find time over there.
And I think
you need doesn't matter where, you need to be playing. Being on the bench might secure a nice paycheck. Shout out to Ryan Muir of the New York Red Bulls for a long time, cashing those checks. But you got to be playing if you want to be starting for the U.S. men's national team.
He could still be cashing those checks too.
He should. New Jersey's not cheap.
No. Hopefully, Mira has secured a job which compensates him financially well enough to live in Westchester County, where he grew up.
Absolutely. And I mean, right now, who do you? Maybe we'll get into U.S. men's national team talk next.
You want to talk about that in the when we get to the final segment?
We'll get to that segment.
All right.
But Ethan Horvath, that's what we think. But go on with League One and League Two.
League One, that's it. Horvath sits. Crew Chesterfield Holdings serve in League Two after 3 weeks. Let's take a pause. When we come back, we'll go around Europe. Bundesliga Serie A has kicked off, and Celtics bets have been paid, and Rangers just laid it all down. It's all over. More to come on the Corner Kick on CWTAP after this.
Azar Supermarket, 3131 Linden Street in Bethlehem. Locally owned and operated by George Azar. Stop by today and pick from the freshest produce, much of it grown right here at home in Pennsylvania. Peruse the meat counter for the finest cuts of chicken, beef, lamb, and halal products. Take a step to your right. It's a selection of olives and mezza and cheese and more. Azars features a full lineup of products imported from the Mediterranean, including Lebanese olive oil and hard-to-find spices and herbs. Shop Azars, 3131 Linden Street in Bethlehem, for great value. For over 60 years, Dietz's Tavern in Wind Gap has been a go-to locale for football fans in the Slate Belt food scene. With a variety of appetizers, salads, burgers, and entrees, Dietz's provides a down-home atmosphere, a friendly space to meet and mingle, and a full bar to watch the big games. Don't forget about wing nights on Wednesday, taco Thursday, and their weekly specials. Dietz's is open Monday through Saturday from 11 to 9 and can be found at 570 North Lehigh Avenue in Wind Gap. Stop by Dietz's today and sample the food, drink, and friendship firsthand. That's Dietz's Tavern, 570 North Lehigh Avenue in Wind Gap. At Edge Landscaping and Excavation, we provide residential and commercial landscaping and excavation services with a focus on customer satisfaction. Seeing the satisfaction of our Edge customers when their project is complete is what drives Edge Landscaping and Excavation to pursue excellence in our field every day. We offer reasonable pricing on all our services to ensure our clients can achieve their vision without breaking their budgets. Call Edge Landscaping and Excavation today at 908-386-7433 and speak to Connor. That's 908-387-7433 and visit our website at www.edgelandscapingandexcavation.com. At Queen's Nutritional Products, we offer a full line of vitamins and mineral supplements to support a healthy lifestyle. Stop by Queen's Nutritional Products today to peruse our wide selection of dried and roasted nuts, dried fruits, and more. The Novak family and our friendly staff are available to assist you, and seniors get 10% off every day on many items. Open 7 days a week for your convenience, Queen's Nutritional Products is located at 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown. You can visit them online at queensnutrition.shop, but better yet, stop by Queen's Nutritional Products, 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown.
Welcome back to the Corner Kick. Alex Fydryszewski and JJ. Oh, no, he's not here this week. We've got Bobby Celentano.
Pleasure
all grown up now. Look at him.
Yeah, it's been, last time I was here was 2016, and now we're here, Easton, Pennsylvania at X Golf 2025.
Time flies, man.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Episode 3 of the comeback of the Corner Kick.
It's great to have you here once again. And again, everybody at home, Bobby was our intern with Uncle Jeffrey previously. He did some of those commercials that you came to know and love.
The Barnyard Market.
The Barnyard Market.
I can recite some of them in my head. We're right down the road from Antonio's Pizza.
Yeah.
We're right down the road from the College Hill Tavern.
Great friends of ours over there. You know, Bubber at the Barnyard Market, I saw him. You know, we were watching that commercial the last time I was down there. His granddaughter's 10 years old, and like everybody's growing up around us.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I'm just waiting for the grays to kick in.
Yeah, I don't know if this says anything about my editing skills, but the Barnyard Market commercial took me 7 hours to cut the 60-second commercial to edit because we had so much footage. Because Bubber just said, film wherever you want, and they have so much to film and so much to see.
He's that good. Editing technology has also gotten way better in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I think it has.
Yeah. We can edit things in about 60 seconds now.
Now you just throw it into AI and it'll edit like that.
Cheater. He's a cheater. Oh, my goodness.
But let's...
use technology to your advantage, young man. I support it wholeheartedly.
But it's the modern-day calculator. It's just the calculator.
It is. You know what? The calculator was, calculator, yes. The nuns used to think it was cheating in school, but then by high school.
You won't have a calculator with you everywhere you go, and now we walk around.
I walk around with a calculator. That's right. Let me tell you something, sister.
Yeah. But now, sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ja. Das Bundesliga ist kaputt. Yeah.
Meine Deutsch ist nicht sehr gut.
Bayern have won the title.
Yeah.
It's over. That's the segment. We'll be back. Oh, wait. No. We got to talk about it.
Yeah. Borussia Dortmund drew this weekend. My club, Red Bull Leipzig, got absolutely demolished. And now you're going to see some of our players like Xavi Simons probably go over to Chelsea. The big one of this weekend, besides Bayern probably winning the title so early on, is another American, Gio Reyna. Borussia Dortmund to
Mönchengladbach. I think we're at a point now where, in my opinion, if Gio Reyna wants to see the pitch in the World Cup and even be in the team, He needs to not get hurt, and he needs to play.
Yeah.
He's
still only 22.
He is incredibly naturally gifted, just like his father. He also has his father's knees. And Gio Reyna needs to have an injury-free season. Somebody's got to show this kid the weight room.
Yeah.
He's got to get physical.
Yeah.
And he needs to not get hurt.
Yeah.
And I think if he gets hurt again, we're going to have a big conversation come April about is he going to make the squad, or if he's not playing or he's not playing well.
Yeah.
Should he be in the squad?
There's a lot of talent in that position.
And there was already enough controversy about him in 22 with Greg Berhalter putting it to a vote whether to send him home because Berhalter didn't have the gumption to do it himself. And the vote was right down the middle. Everybody who was ahead of him said, keep him. Everybody behind him in the pecking order said, send him home. Yeah. It was the most gutless thing that Greg Berhalter did while he was the U.S. men's national team manager. And the biggest mistake U.S. soccer made was bringing him back because it set us back.
Yeah.
But
Reyna's an incredible talent. I mean, he's had some incredible performances before, but I don't know the last time he's played 90 minutes. If he comes on, when he was coming on for Dortmund, it was 30 minutes here, 15 minutes here, and he was playing more when he was 18, 19 years old. Unfortunately, injuries has set him back. Dortmund has so much talent. I think after 4 or 5 seasons, they just had to... They kind of did him a favor, honestly, letting him go to Mönchengladbach.
They don't need him.
They do not.
And I think that...
It's either them or Parma, apparently.
I think Italy might have been a better league for him. I think Serie A is a good league for Americans.
Yeah.
And for him, it's a little less physical. It's a little less physical in the Bundesliga. It's more tactical. They give you more space on the ball. And I'm not, listen, I think the big key is he's got to get on the pitch. But personally, I think I would have rather seen Parma.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about him. I hope he has like a comeback of the year type of season. It's just the past couple seasons, you look on Transfer Market's website and you look at the time played, it's very, very small instances and very little amount of games when you have guys that you're competing against playing 30, 40, 50 games a year and they're getting 70-plus minutes a game. I mean, a guy like Luca De La Torre could replace him out in San Diego.
I have a whole nother
spot.
We'll get there in the last segment of my opinions on if you're playing in Major League Soccer and should be even within a mile of the national team list.
But you bring up Parma, so let's talk about Serie A. Because I think, like as you said, Bayern, most likely congratulations on winning the Bundesliga.
I wish we were joking, too.
I wish we were.
As soon as the match kicked off on Friday, as JJ said at the weekend, he goes, when the match kicks off, I'm going to send you a text message. I should pull it up and put it in front of the screen, the timestamp on JJ's text message to me. It says, Bayern have won the title. Happy Friday, or whatever it was. Happy Saturday.
JJ can still be on the show, even though he's not here in person today. That will be him.
He is on the show. Yeah. By proxy, he is on the show by text message. And, same thing. Rangers have handed Celtic the title. They already paid out the bet. In Scotland. It's over. Rangers drew again.
Unfortunately, some of these leagues, that's just how it goes.
PSG have won the title.
It was like Juventus for like 10 years in Serie A.
Right. As soon as Serie A kicked off, you could send the text message, Juve have won the championship. Yeah. It's not that way in Serie A right now, though.
No, it is not. And as I highlighted a little bit earlier in the show, I've been an AC Milan fan for a bit. I think 2012 is kind of when I declared them, that's my club. And when you lose 2-1 to start the weekend, against a club that's a Serie B, Serie A in-betweener, it's not a promising start. I know Rafael Leao did not start for AC Milan. I thought Modric, not Pulisic. Pulisic did play great. I thought Luka Modric looked really strong. They just did not look threatening enough. I watched the whole game, and shout out to Bonazola with a fantastic overkick goal against Milan.
This is Cremonese we're talking about here. This isn't. It's not like they lost to Torino.
No.
Who will be a mid-table or a Bologna, who's going to be potentially contending for a European spot. This is a Cremonese side that's probably going right back down.
Yeah.
And terrible way
to
start the season. You know, they're talking about signing another striker, but
Boniface they signed, then the medical came, did not pass the medical. He's not coming over now to Milan.
And is that an indictment that Santi Jimenez is not good enough in their eyes?
It very well could be. I mean, he didn't have a super convincing game from my perspective. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh as a Milan fan. But to start the season, there's no Champions League for Milan. There's no Europa League for Milan. Modric is gracing us with his presence. I mean, he turns 40 in just a couple days here.
So he should be playing for Real Salt Lake.
Yeah. Modric still looked absolutely incredible, though. But that's saying something when
a 40-year-old
on the pitch is the best player for your squad.
Again, week one, you don't want to press alarm bells, but this is even in down years, AC Milan wouldn't drop.
And I'm surprised some players didn't leave. I'm surprised Pulisic didn't ask for out. I'm surprised Rafael Leao didn't ask to get out.
I think they know that they have safety in a way in their position, and it's also
World
still
Cup year.
It's a World Cup year, and it's still high enough of a level that even if they struggle, they'll finish in the top 7, 8, and they'll be in that European mix, even if it's for the Conference League, where there'll be something for them to play for towards the end of the season. But AC Milan fans, I think, both at home and abroad, are not comfortable with AC Milan being a Europa Conference League team. I mean, the idea of welcoming, let's go down Club of the Week for 20 weeks from now, right? Borac Banja Luka from Bosnia
coming to the San Siro.
For a Europa Conference League match where there's probably going to be more teams that come from Banja Luka, more fans from Banja Luka because it's the trip.
Yeah.
Than AC Milan fans versus where this is a club that 20, 25, 30 years ago, yes, it's ancient history now, but even in its more recent history, is used to hosting Champions League nights against Madrid and Barca and Arsenal and the likes of the rest.
S-tier club.
Yeah, and
I hope they're not slipping. Before Ibrahimovic came back, there were some rough years at Milan. After Ibra left, after Thiago Silva left, after all the big names left, we had some rough years in AC Milan, and I'm really hoping that's not the case. But Serie A is competitive. It's tough. Napoli, shout out to De Bruyne. He had a nice little goal to start his career there in Italy. It's going to be tough for Milan this year, I think. They really need to. That game one was not convincing at all as a fan, so I hope I'm not hitting the panic button too early.
No, it's early, but that's still it's not a good loss. Let's start there and leave it there. It's not a good loss.
Not a good loss. Hopefully we can bounce back.
And there is such a thing as a good loss. I don't think Milan's a title contender, but again, you lose to Bologna, okay.
Yeah.
You lose to Roma, okay. Lazio. Cremonese, no, you can't drop points at home to them.
Yeah, that was one of my goals of the weekend, though. Bonazola from Cremonese, fantastic goal.
Let's talk of Bologna and Roma. Can Roma be in the mix? They looked pretty darn good.
Yeah, I thought. Now, I'm a little biased. El Shaarawy is one of my favorite players starting at Roma. I thought he looked great. When Paulo Dybala is on your bench and he's coming in for Roma, Roma's got a real good squad this year.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to their depth and to their recruitment strategy as a club, that you have a player like him available who is a regular in the Argentinian national team riding the bench.
Yeah.
And I know I'm reiterating what you're saying, but it's just to emphasize they have depth in their roster.
Yeah. Napoli's they're going to be one of the top clubs, obviously, in Serie A this season. And, I'm just hoping it's not like we were just talking about with Bayern in the Bundesliga, where it's like season's over.
And I think it's unfortunate because it makes the league anticlimactic in week 1, 2, 3, when I think there are things to play for, and there are reasons to watch. But for me, I have never been one to say, I'm going to watch Bayern this week. I'm going to watch Celtic this week. I want to watch Paris Saint-Germain this week. Though I will say, with this current group of guys, and JJ and I talked about this, these guys are really good. They're very young, super electric, talented guys. I will watch this PSG team. And we talked about it last week. You watch at the end of the Champions League, and they're jumping on the CBS crew, and Henry's like, I told them, if you want to win the Champions League, you must get younger. We do not need the stars. You must. I tell Nasser Al-Khelaifi, and he listened to me.
Yeah.
And
Look what happened.
And they got a manager in Luis Enrique who said, if you buy in, we're going to win. And they did. Talked about it last week. But there's reasons to still watch these leagues. Just go out of your way to look for other matchups. Because now, let's just look at those three leagues to end the segment. The Bundesliga, Bayern's probably going to win it. One weekend, Bayern's probably going to win this thing. Unless Dortmund takes 6 off of them.
Yeah.
They got to beat them twice. They got to beat them at the Allianz, and then they got to beat them at Signal Iduna Park.
And Leverkusen weren't what they were in that incredible season.
That was the Leicester year for Bayer Leverkusen. But now in Germany, what is there to watch? It's the top 5 outside of Bayern jostling for the European positions. Yeah. That's always something to watch in these other leagues now where, in Italy, you're watching the top 8, 9 this year. There is no, they've won the title on day one. There's so much to watch and so much that will unfold.
Milan's shooting for 7th, I think they'd be happy with a 6th place finish.
One of the deepest, most underrated leagues on earth. I say it every week.
Yeah.
So Germany, those are the storylines to watch. And the storylines to watch are at the bottom of the table. It'll be the relegation battle. Ligue 1, it's the same thing now. Who's in the drop zone? Is it Monaco? Is it Lyon? Who is it that's going to be in the Champions League places?
There's Americans there too.
There are.
Tessmann started for Lyon. Weah started for Marseille. And I think one of the craziest signings this past transfer window, Monaco signed Ansu Fati and Paul Pogba. Neither have made their appearance yet.
Look, I think we're going to be waiting for a while on Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's been
His ban's been lifted.
He has been on an imposed vacation for quite some time. He had a.
I was surprised that they signed those two guys.
I think
He's speechless.
I can take Ansu Fati over Paul Pogba. Fati's been on the he's playing.
Barca's wonder kid.
He's been playing.
A couple years ago.
At least he's been playing.
A couple years ago, Fati, people were like, "Is he the next Messi?" Obviously not. That's more Lamine Yamal.
Lamine Yamal could be him.
Yeah.
I think I could stomach Ansu Fati over Paul Pogba at a Champions League, Europa League contending club. Pogba. It's going to be very interesting to see, not just physically where he is, it's going to be mentally. And Paul Pogba's biggest problem throughout his entire career has been Paul Pogba's motor. He is this incredibly gifted player, naturally talented. He can run like a gazelle. Paul Pogba never puts it all together.
Yeah.
And when he does, in these little spurts, he's magnificent. The problem is it's one match out of 10.
Yeah.
And you need him to do it 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. It was almost like we all knew this is going back 14 or when did Pirlo come? 14?
Yeah.
To NYC?
Yeah. 2015.
The last match he played in Italy was a Champions League final. And if it wasn't for Paul Pogba covering for him, Pirlo would have been the worst player on the pitch. And I was sitting there with my father going, he's done.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, he's going to do nothing in MLS because they're not going to have to cover. And Pogba, if that Paul Pogba
shows up at Monaco,
who is cleaning up every tackle behind Pirlo, shows up at Monaco, it's going to be great.
I hope he's hungry. I hope he doesn't get that Mario Balotelli at Genoa curse where you get signed and there's all this hype that he's coming back and he's going to make a splash in a top league, and then they play 6 games and you're getting 5 minutes a game.
Another player who had every gift in the world and did next to nothing with it.
Although he is the latest A-League rumor for Australia.
You know,
Mario Balotelli.
It's probably at this point a reasonable destination.
A lot of fans on the A-League forums I was reading, they're like very for it. I was blown away to see everyone was like, I want to see this happen. They're like, not at my club, but I want to see him at Perth.
I don't want him at Melbourne Victory, but he can go to Sydney FC and ruin that team.
Exactly.
I think these are the leagues that players like that are going to end up in.
Yeah.
The Saudis don't want them.
No.
With the amount of money they're paying, even they're not going to be that crazy to be like, oh yeah, we'll give him just because he's a name. No, they're at a point now where I think the Saudi league intends on being one of the top 10 leagues in the world by 2030.
Well, there might have to be a Saudi league section, honestly. I started watching right when I learned that Ronaldo was signing. I watched some games.
It's good.
The argument is it's better than MLS.
Yes.
I've watched both. It's a very convincing argument.
It's hard not to buy it.
Yeah. And
They may have a better national team than us right now.
Their national team beat Argentina in the World Cup. I mean, that's saying something that Saudi Arabia beat Argentina the year that Argentina won the World Cup. A lot of the Saudi Arabian players, they stay in the league because they're compensated very well. They're taken care of very well. They don't have to leave home. And it's a very competitive league where they're getting minutes. I guess we'll just touch on it real quick. Al Nassr ended up losing, I think it was the Saudi Cup final. Ronaldo, I believe, scored a PK. He's probably somewhere, I'd have to check, probably like 939 goals now, something like that. So
chasing the unbreakable record.
Well, at least recorded record. But I mean, there's some real talent in Saudi right now, and I think they're doing a better job than the China Super League did years ago with signing guys like Oscar.
They also have a bottomless pit of money.
It's just endless. I mean, when you get a guy like John Duran, JJ, because Aston Villa player,
yes,
to come over to Al Nassr, or they got to do less signings like João Felix and more signings like John Duran.
I think if they really wanted to put the pedal to the floor, they could probably be the best league in the world. And this is a controversial hot take. If the Saudis really wanted to, between the 3 government-funded clubs, and then if they get some of these sheikhs to buy into the other ones, they could destroy the Premier League and Ligue 1, PSG. They could clip every player, and the Saudi league would be the best league in the world. Wow. It is not inconceivable. And then with the amount of money sitting in UAE, Qatar,
Dubai,
they could follow suit. And then all of a sudden, the Asian Champions League is what everybody wants to watch. Crazy take, but is it?
No, I mean, when you see a guy like Teo Hernandez from AC Milan leave a club like Milan to go to Al Hilal, I mean, I can't necessarily blame them when you're getting offered money that's going to take care of your grandkids, and you're still playing in a very competitive league. I can't necessarily blame them. So I don't think that's the hottest of takes. But I think that may round out our European coverage.
That was like a great 20-minute segment. It's great having you back. We're going to take a break. When we get back, European competitions, we'll go through them quickly, and teams of the week. And then we'll take one more pause, and we'll end with the United States. So we'll probably spend 5-6 minutes in Europe still, and then we'll have one more pause in the last 15 minutes or so. It'll be all about soccer going on right here at home. On the Corner Kick.
X-Golf, located just off the 25th Street exit of Route 22 in Easton, offers a premier golf simulation experience. With some of the most realistic indoor golf simulators you've ever seen, X-Golf is the premier place to work on your game before you hit the courses around the Lehigh Valley. If it's driving that needs work, putting that needs practice, or that pesky short game that haunts you, X-Golf is the perfect spot to to perfect your swing. Bring your clubs, borrow one of our in-house sets, big up your friends, and come on down to X Golf for a fun time. It's always 72 and sunny at X Golf, and double bogeys are welcome, so you don't have to worry about a cart full of golfers behind you on hole 7. To schedule your tee time, call X Golf at 484-250-0391. That's 484-250-0391. X Golf, 80 Kunkel Drive in Easton, right off the 25th Street exit of Route 22.
Welcome back to the Corner Kick. We are here at X Golf, 80 Kunkel Drive in Easton. It's Alex and Bobby back in the saddle once again, filling in for JJ. He's going to be a regular. I know he is. He loves the beautiful game.
Oh, absolutely. And I get to practice my swing while I'm here because when I'm outside trying to practice it and the ball ends up in the woods or on the highway, that's not good. When I come to X Golf, I can hit it into the screen, fix my swing, and then talk soccer.
You know, I'm never taking Route 22 between here and Lafayette ever again now that I know this.
Yeah, my swing needs work, so I'm glad that we're here.
I'm not taking Hackett Drive or whatever that is either.
Yep.
No way.
Yes, the Fighting Easton folks will know what we're talking about.
The Mighty Rovers, stay away from where he lives. Your car will thank you later. But let's get back into it here. We're going to briefly touch upon the Champions League, the Europa League, Europa Conference. The matchups are scrolling across the screen right now. There are 43 of them.
We're going to go through every single one.
We're going to be here all day. There's going to be 60 minutes of stoppage time just for... No, we're just kidding. No. There were 4 minutes of stoppage time last week. It's like a soccer match. The show's 90 minutes. There's injury time at the end.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we're saying in the break we should get the official... like the light up board that they have at the games, and we'll just hold it up for the screen.
Hey, if JJ comes in, takes this spot, I'm more than happy just to go in the back and hold up the sign.
And then we need Tom to come over, who's the managing partner here at X Golf, and make the announcement.
Yeah.
The fourth official has announced that there will be 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the show.
Oh, that'd be incredible. But yeah, I can't believe we're already talking about Champions League, Europa League, and Europa Conference League.
It's like it just ended.
It basically did, and it's kind of like the U.S. Open Cup. It never ends.
And, right now we're in the playoff round, so this is fun. There's a little bit of pressure, and we didn't talk about this one last week, and it'll be completed by airing. But as we film, and this is something for all the fans to check up on, Kairat Almaty from Kazakhstan, as of this filming on Monday, are in a favorable position. Celtic face a tough away leg in Kazakhstan.
Okay.
They needed to down them. I think they needed a couple goals because this is most likely the biggest match that will ever be played at the Centralny Stadium in Almaty in Kazakhstan. Easily the biggest match that Kairat has played in its 71-year history between the Soviet League, then the Kazakh League, and competitions. Even if they lose the tie, they make the Europa League. And Kairat Almaty stands to make some serious bucks from that participation. It's just something I'll be watching, and as you view this on our airing, see what happened. Did the mighty Kazakh side with the Brazilians, Shakhtar Light, qualify for Champions League?
They'll know more than we do at this time.
At this point, they know the result. We talked about Benfica and Fenerbahce from Turkey. Went 0-0 in the opening leg. I mean, great match to watch. We said this was the marquee matchup of Champions League qualifying. It lived up to all the billing, even in a scoreless draw for me. I think there's just so much left on the table to play for. And now, time for Jose to work his magic.
Yeah.
This is what Jose does. He is special. Very special.
That sounds like a great game. I somehow missed Fenerbahce versus Benfica. Next time they play, you'll have to let me know, because that's a very rare matchup.
We're filming in advance. We can. I said this to JJ last week. He was cracking up on screen. We'll all play hooky. We'll get in the car. We'll go to the ferry street in the Newark. We'll have our little espresso. Cheiro 43, little bit of 43 in there as we watch the game on the big screens at Opipo or Portugalia or Yeah, we'll go down.
You love the Ironbound, don't
I
you?
love the Ironbound. It is one of my favorite places. You go down there into Little Portugal. Oh, it's so good. There's all these little spots that I could do a whole show.
I know, 'cause
we should take the show.
Yeah, I
to the
remember
Newark. It would be great.
When I was with the Yinzers in Pittsburgh, you were texting me that you were getting espresso at 11 p.m. at night in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So I know you like your late night caffeine.
The espresso's no good.
No.
Bethlehem espresso no good.
No. He's trying to find a spot.
It's not like the Newark. You got to have the Delta coffee. It's got to be Delta. If it's not Delta, it's not there. I need Delta espresso.
I just got into espresso, and there's some good spots. I would like to shout out that are in Easton, but I'm not going to do it until they're sponsors.
Ooh, well done, sir. Oh, that's brutal. There are some very good espresso spots in the Lehigh Valley. There's actually a place I like to go in Nazareth.
Really?
That's a coffee shop.
I was just in Nazareth Saturday.
And they make a very good espresso, and I like to sit outside on the street with my coffee and...
Well, when they have a sponsorship here, we can bring them up.
We'll do the show there. In the Europa League, I said Rijeka and Payok was going to be a good one. Lots of national team players for both teams lived up to it. The Croatians are up 1-0 going to Greece. I think that's going to be a very heated second tie in front of a raucous crowd. We didn't talk about Panathinaikos Samsunspor from Turkey. Turned out that there's a lot to play for in that return tie between two teams from larger European leagues. And then I'm going to touch on it. FCSB, the artist formerly known as Steaua Bucharest with the crazy owner.
Yes.
Drew Aberdeen, but they go back to Romania, and I think they'll finish the job. Have you ever read the story of like how they went from Steaua Bucharest to FCSB?
No, I never
This
have.
is a topic for another week. It's absolute madness.
That would be like for a 120-minute show.
Yes. Europa Conference League. The Polish side's got the job done. JJ's boys, the Jags, Jagiellonia Białystok got the job done against Dinamo Tirana, 3-0. Raków Częstochowa beat Arda from Bulgaria, and they have to navigate the road leg, but they're up. Legia 2-1 against Hibs. They should see the tie out. Upset of the round. Rosenborg from Norway. I have been to the stadium. I have been to the Lerkendal Stadium, and that's how they pronounce it. The Norwegians take down Mainz.
Wow, that's a huge upset.
Now, Rosenborg in a previous life was a Champions League regular. And beautiful city, by the way. They're in a city called Trondheim. They're not my club of the week. I'm going to talk about it very briefly. Rosenborg is in Trondheim, Norway. It is one of the probably 3 most beautiful cities I have ever been to in my entire life. I was there on the longest day of the year in 2013. The sun does not set in Trondheim, Norway on the longest day of the year. We are at a rooftop bar along a fjord. That's their term for a harbor.
Yes.
But we were at this rooftop bar at a hotel, and it was the craziest thing. The sun kind of rotated around and dipped at the mountain opening to the fjord, crossed the fjord, and then started to rise. So this is like the sun is out until 2 a.m. anyway. And it just, I rolled off of that bar at about 4:30 with everyone else, and it was incredible. A beautiful city, amazing food. Also, the most expensive place I've ever been, not named London.
This is the Tippenliegen? Am I right in saying
that? Tippelagen. Something along those lines.
The only time I've ever watched
any of our Norwegian friends. Oh, Robbie from the polka band. Robbie's friend, I believe Tom Hudak, I think his wife is Norwegian and speaks it or something.
The only team I know
Tom, get your wife to translate that for us so we know how to say Tippelagen.
Yeah, the only team I know is, I think, Strømsgodset, and I'm probably
Look at this. We are linguists on the show. Who knew that we spoke Norwegian?
Just because that's Martin Odegaard's childhood club.
If anyone can get me dolls, I will... I don't know what.
What is that?
I will give you a gift certificate to X Golf that I pay for if you can get me a case of Dolls.
Oh, so it's a drink.
It is the best beer I've ever had in my entire life. Dolls is only available in Trondheim.
Oh, maybe
it is not available anywhere else. Norway is a great place. You can only get certain beers in certain cities. Like Ringnes is only available in, I believe, Oslo. Dolls is only available in Trondheim. It's how they keep these it's like the Yinglings, right? It would be like if you went to Pottsville and you could only get Yingling lager.
Yeah.
And that's what these places are like. Essentially, like you can only find dolls in Trondheim.
Wow.
I have tried everything to get dolls. I have talked to beer distributors in Minnesota, where all the Norwegians live. They can't even get it for me. So,
I mean,
if anybody out there, maybe Tom can get it here at X
We
Golf.
have a humongous bar here at X Golf. I mean, what's this, 20 yards long?
Probably, yes. With sports on every TV, we should turn this into the soccer bar in the Lehigh Valley.
We need
Soccer suds and swings. You play golf. There's a TV. You put the game on. You have your suds and your swing. And
yeah.
Tom, we have an idea.
We'll talk to Tom. About changing his business model to fit our personal interests of soccer.
Oh my goodness! I think we're there. All right, let's run through Club of the Week.
Yes.
We got to do Teams of the Week. We're going to take a break. Then we'll go into that kind of 12, 13 minutes with the extra time for the United States. Bobby, you're our guest. I'm going to have you go first. And who is your team of the week?
This is like a really weird one, but I feel like this one was going to elicit some reaction from Alex, so I figured I'd bring it up, and it's also some news. They are technically going to be the closest pro team to the Lehigh Valley.
Yes, as the crow flies, I believe they are.
Which would be the Cosmos. Yes, the New York Cosmos, who have announced a couple weeks ago, but this is my first time back on the show, that in 2026 they're going to be playing in Paterson, New Jersey in the USL League One in Hinchcliffe Stadium, which is a very historic stadium. There is a huge, actually Peruvian population in Paterson, New Jersey. League One is technically the third division of U.S. soccer, but as the USL has announced, in 2028, they're going to introduce promotion relegation. So it's possible that the New York Cosmos could come in for their third iteration as a club and go from the third division of U.S. soccer to potentially one day the first division, as they've always aspired to be since the original time they existed.
An original side that touted Pele and Giorgio Canalia and Franz Beckenbauer,
Carlos Alberto,
Shep
Messing,
Giorgio Canalia, one of everyone's favorites.
In their second iteration, Raul and Marco Senna and guys like Walter Restrepo that bounced around from MLS to
one
NASL.
Haji Wright,
who is now performing for Coventry. So they produced talent back then, and that is their main goal now with their third iteration. They have Giuseppe Rossi, the Italian-American that played for Italy, that was born in Teaneck, New Jersey, running things over there. And the club was originally coming back as North Jersey Pro Soccer. They bought the rights to the Cosmos brand, and I'm just very excited to see them back. They're a club that I very much supported when they were playing in Hofstra and Long Island, and they're going to be very close to the Lehigh Valley, and who knows, maybe one day we'll be broadcasting them on CWTAP.
You know what I feel about retread soccer teams, right?
Yeah.
You know how I felt about Bethlehem Steel.
I was going to wear my Bethlehem Steel jersey, and I did not feel like putting you on a tangent. So
unless it was one from 1924, I don't want to ever see it.
No, it was the same one Brendan Aronson wore, basically, when he
was bussed in from Chester United to play at the park, and with the team that had no office here, that was run by the guys in Chester.
I love the idea, but just not executed. Like, I love that
it was destined to fail from the get-go because this isn't Archie Stark's team that was going to go undefeated.
Yeah, and this isn't the American Soccer League of the 1913.
And what's amazing is that Bethlehem Steel's first iteration, they were getting 20,000 people back in the day at their games. America, contrary to what all the baseball people think, America was a soccer country.
Yeah, and
actually still is. But
Bethlehem Steel was the Yankees of American soccer.
They
just won after year in the early 1900s. There's a lot of history there, so I can see why when they come back or the Cosmos come back, they elicit some less than positive feelings because they
let it lie. I'm one of those people who says let it lie.
Absolutely.
It's not like an owner stepped in to save a club on the brink. This is one that's gone out twice.
Yep.
Like, good for them. They want to give it a shot. I hope it works out for them. It's just not my cup of tea to say, yeah.
Yeah. For this week's Team of the Week, I went back and forth with a lot of different ones. I thought about talking about San Francisco City FC in the USL League 2 that's owned by the fans, and it's in the 4th Division of American soccer. But I thought I'd bring it back to something a little bit more local and a team that's trying to get on the field again. They technically don't exist as a squad right now, but I'm really interested in seeing who your Team of the Week is this week as Episode 3.
All right, so here we go. My Team of the Week. I have gone with Auckland City Football Club.
Not Auckland FC.
Not Auckland FC. No,
this is A-League.
This is not the A-League team in Australia's league. This is Auckland City. The Navy Blues, founded in 2004, 21 years old, premier domestic club in New Zealand's football setup. Auckland FC and the Wellington Phoenix play in the A-League and are not OFC clubs. They're not AFC clubs. It's really weird. If they win the Australian League, they can't play.
Auckland City.
But Auckland City.
The Club World Cup.
They made it.
Competitors.
Yes, 10 times winners of the national tournament. They've got a number of domestic cup titles. They've won the OFC Champions League 13 times. In 2014, they finished 3rd in the Club World Cup. And then this year in the Club World Cup, they drew Boca Juniors with a goalkeeper who's like a school teacher, and then the goalkeeper was the forklift driver because they're amateurs.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story how they've done this, and host of notable players who've gone on to professional careers. But yeah, these guys all work other jobs, or they're like teenagers who maybe their parents have some bucks and are like, oh yeah, go try the footy and see how it goes, and then they win contracts elsewhere. Actually, Auckland FC signed a couple of their guys.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, Auckland City is this little engine that could. Check them out online. Their Twitter's really active. Their Facebook's good. They have a great website. I've actually spoken to a couple of people at the club over the years, and I like them a lot. Really interesting club. Auckland City FC. Run really well, and they've got great community support. They have like a I guess you call them like hooligans.
Yeah.
They're like amateur hooligans. They're like a bunch of guys who bring like frying pans to the game and bang on the frying pans. But it's really fun. I've watched their games. They stream a lot of their games on YouTube, and the OFC tournament's available, the OFC Champions League.
At like 3 a.m., I'll try to check them out.
That is the only problem. You need to be a night owl. So maybe if you're watching our Midnight Movie Classics one day and, Auckland City is playing, you go on your computer and check them out.
2 screens. One for CWTAP, one for Auckland City FC.
Yeah, I mean, this has been great. Where are we at time-wise? Have we, blown through the U.S. segment?
We may have.
All right. Well, let's just give it stoppage time right now, and we'll go an extra 5 minutes, and let's talk a little bit about the U.S. game, because I know there's a lot you wanted to touch on, MLS, and a little bit of the national team pool, and that's where we'll stop the show.
Okay, that sounds good. I guess I can do this real quick. Sun Heung-min looked absolutely...
Take your time. We're still going.
Okay, perfect. Sun Heung-min looked absolutely incredible at LAFC. He dazzled with a free kick for them. That he is the perfect designated player signing. Vancouver also, their signing in Thomas Mueller has been everything they've hoped for super early on, and probably one of the worst calls in MLS history. Did you see?
It was bad.
Man, if you want to look up something rough, look up St. Louis versus Vancouver. Late PK given, and it was just VAR used in the complete wrong way. Even Vancouver fans were like, I'm sorry.
I have had many comments about the officiating or lack thereof, or the selective VAR, I like to call it. Selective VAR in MLS, and who it's used to benefit, and when it's used to benefit them, and who gets fouls called 20 yards from goal every single match, dead on center. This one might take the cake over Messi United.
It was
probably
awful.
the worst one yet.
It was absolutely awful. I mean, I'm happy for Thomas Mueller to get his first goal in MLS. I think him and Sun Heung-min are perfect examples of what you kind of want to look for in a DP. That's someone that's interested and wants to win titles and still has that drive. But winning like that and getting a first goal like that, I did not love. Real quick about Miami, I thought they had a goal of the week contender by Baldassar Rodriguez.
That was a good hit.
Rope. Something to look up after the show.
Yes, that was a good
That's a goal you kind of have to see.
That was a good hit. He hit that on the run, stepped through the ball, like drilled it. That thing was still going up when it hit the upper 90.
Yeah.
Like, that was, you don't get much better than that.
So, I mean, we could honestly talk probably for another hour or so. Maybe next episode we can get more into MLS. I'd love to hear your and JJ's thoughts.
No, you don't.
I'm more pro. They're more, could I say con?
Con. At this point, you know what's sad is if you go back and watch the original shows or listen to the replays of those Sonic games on GPA, 2013, 2014, JJ and I were probably as pro as you could get.
Yeah.
And now it's flipped.
See, like, I love being able to watch every game on Apple TV in 1080p, and I pay one price. I see every single game. I know you don't love that.
It killed the league. It's dead. They're done. And when Messi leaves, it's over.
You're so much have a different viewpoint on it than I do. And I wish we had another hour to go on about this.
Oh, well, we'll just keep going then. No, I think
there's a lot of soccer going on in the U.S. right now.
Yeah.
We have Leagues Cup this week. Miami's going to be playing Orlando in the semifinals. LA Galaxy's going to be playing the Seattle Sounders. We still have the U.S. Open Cup going on, the longest standing American soccer tournament in the country. Philly versus Nashville, Austin versus Minnesota. That's going to go on in early September as well. So that alongside MLS play and all these U.S. players abroad, there's soccer's finally back, and I think that's the main point of today's show here on Corner Kick is soccer and football is back. The real football's back.
Yeah, it is. The real stuff is back. The scrimmages will continue until November.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, Bobby, I know you like MLS, and I'm not saying that it doesn't have its place. I just think that anyone who wants to be in the national team needs to be in Europe and not in Major League Soccer. That's really my big crux of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't care that they've bent every rule for Miami to win because they have Messi and they're all investors in one company. I get it. If I was the Columbus franchisee, I would be like, yeah, let's do whatever we have to do to maximize my take out of this investment as possible. Go for it. I just think if anybody wants to play for the U.S. national team, they need to get abroad because the competition is just not at the level.
Yeah, there's only a handful of guys in MLS right now that have a chance of being on the U.S. men's national team for FIFA World Cup 2026.
Speaking of U.S. national team, very quickly, Thomas Mueller.
Yeah, leaking a little bit too much of information this past weekend.
What can they do to him? He is like the marquee signing in the league besides Messi.
It's basically like when Tom Holland was spoiling Spider-Man rumors. That's basically what Thomas Mueller did, spoiling that one of his teammates is on the U.S. men's national team.
Just say it. It's Tristan Blackman.
I didn't say it. You said it.
Tristan Blackman, a random 29-year-old defender, is going to get a call up. If we're calling him up, we've got problems.
Oh, man. I wish we had more time to dive into the U.S. men's national team in MLS, but thankfully we have a lot of time before
So you're
World
coming
Cup.
back next week, then.
Sounds good.
All right, then it's going to be three of us.
If I have to debate you and JJ on MLS by myself, I will.
You better bring some ammo, baby.
I'll start researching now.
Oh, he's going to come with War and Peace. He will be ready.
I'll come with Tim Cook from Apple, and we'll just he'll just be my backup here.
It's not Tim Cook that's the problem.
It's DG, right? Don Garber. Is that what you're going to say?
His legacy, and this is where I'm going to end my point. You get the final word, and then the show will end. His legacy is no longer expansion and growth. Don Garber will be remembered for taking a deal that the Pac-10 blew itself up over instead of taking. The Pac-10 destroyed itself intentionally rather than take the paywall.
See, yeah.
Final word.
In terms of growing the game, you're probably right with MLS on Apple TV. As a avid fan, I like it and I watch it, and I couldn't do it previously because I'd have to be watching Fox and NBC and games on USA and Univision, and they're playing games on Twitter, and then you have to have the FIFA mobile app to watch some other games. So for me, it's one spot to watch all the games, but as someone that's a casual fan and they just want to watch the Premier League, they're not going to pay $99 a year to go watch MLS. So I see both sides of the coin, and this is where maybe USL comes in with promotion relegation. They start signing some big clubs, some individual investors, and who knows, the landscape could look a lot different in a couple of years.
This has been fun. I love having you back in the saddle, man. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Corner Kick. We might have 3 of us here next week.
Yeah.
Who knows? That means, you know what you're going to have to do, folks? Tune in. You're going to have to watch. Make sure you catch us. High school football on Friday. We will have State of PA football airing in the afternoon. Our high school football coverage starts at 2:30. PFN taps in 2:30. State of PA football at 4. Our pregame show at 6. Our high school broadcast at 7. And if you missed the Tamaqua Penn Argyle game, what a finish. How can we beat week 1? I don't know. We had a defensive tackle rumble 50 yards with an interception return with a minute left in the game.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to Jacob Pietraszkiewicz, the Polish hammer.
Of course.
From Penn Argyle with the big play. Once again, we've got great sports coverage coming up here with football. We've got the soccer show and much more to come. We'll have basketball in the winter, working on some wrestling. Not the Randy Savage Macho Man elbow drop, the Olympic style, working on that from the school. Greco-Roman, there it is, from the schools. But yeah, make sure you join us next week, next Wednesday, for the Corner Kick right here on CWTAP. Bobby Celentano, Alex Fydryszewski. God bless. Have a great night.